Old Hollywood dazzled audiences with its glamour, larger-than-life stars, and captivating tales of fame. But behind the silver screen, many celebrities lived secret lives, concealing their true selves from a society unready to accept their identities. The mid-20th century's restrictive social norms and intense industry pressures forced LGBTQ+ stars to hide their sexual orientation to protect their careers and avoid scandal. Despite their immense talent, these icons endured personal struggles while maintaining a polished public image. Which stories from this era surprise you the most? How far do you think Hollywood has come in portraying and accepting LGBT+ identities? Let us know your thoughts. Rock Hudson was the embodiment of the dashing romantic hero, capturing hearts in films like Pillow Talk and All That Heaven Allows. With his square jaw, magnetic smile, and undeniable charm, Hudson became one of Hollywood's top leading men throughout the 1950s and 60s. However, behind his polished public persona was a man who lived in constant fear of being outed as gay, a revelation that could have ended his career during a time when homophobia was rampant in the entertainment industry. Hudson maintained secret relationships with men, often orchestrating elaborate cover stories to maintain his image as the quintessential ladies' man. The studios even arranged high-profile dates and a marriage to his agent's secretary to dispel any suspicions. Despite the charade, his closest friends and co-stars often described him as a kind and generous person who struggled privately with loneliness. In 1985, Hudson's AIDS diagnosis and subsequent death shocked the world, as he became one of the first high-profile celebrities to die from the disease. His passing helped humanize the AIDS crisis and brought unprecedented public awareness to LGBTQ+ rights and health advocacy. Today, Hudson's legacy endures not just as a Hollywood icon, but as a figure of resilience in the face of discrimination. Tab Hunter's all-American good looks and wholesome image made him a 1950s heartthrob, beloved for his roles in Dan Yankees and Battle Cry. His blonde hair, blue eyes, and boy-next-door charm led to screaming fans and magazine covers, cementing him as one of Warner Bros.' most bankable stars. However, behind the scenes, Hunter was living a double life, concealing his sexuality out of fear that it would destroy his career. The Hollywood system demanded conformity, and Hunter's relationships with men were kept secret at all costs. His personal life became even more precarious when a gossip magazine threatened to expose him. The studio managed to cover it up, pairing him with starlets like Natalie Wood to deflect attention. However, Hunter's career began to wane as tabloid rumors persisted. In 2005, Hunter published his memoir Tab Hunter Confidential, in which he shared the truth about his life as a closeted star. His courageous decision to come out later in life made him a prominent advocate for LGBTQ+ visibility. His story remains an important reminder of how much Hollywood's LGBT+ stars had to endure to survive the industry's brutal expectations. Cary Grant defined elegance and sophistication on screen, becoming a Hollywood legend with films like North by Northwest, An Affair to Remember, and Bringing Up Baby. With his impeccable style, dashing good looks, and witty charm, Grant was the archetype of the suave leading man. Off-screen, however, his personal life was shrouded in mystery, fueling decades of speculation. One of the most enduring aspects of Grant's private life was his close friendship with actor Randolph Scott. The two actors shared a home for over a decade, leading to rumors about the nature of their relationship. Photographs of the two lounging at their shared beach house only added to the intrigue, and some Hollywood insiders claimed they were romantically involved. However, Grant consistently denied these rumors, and after his multiple marriages to women, the gossip quieted somewhat. Despite the speculation, Grant remained tight-lipped about his private life, and modern historians still debate whether the rumors were true or a byproduct of the public's fascination with his personal affairs. Regardless, Grant's legacy as one of Hollywood's most charismatic stars endures. He remains a timeless icon whose enigmatic private life only adds to his enduring allure. Greta Garbo was the ultimate enigma of old Hollywood, known for her mesmerizing performances in films like Camille and Grand Hotel. Garbo captivated audiences with her ethereal beauty and magnetic screen presence. Her iconic line, "I want to be alone," became synonymous with her reclusive lifestyle. Garbo shunned the traditional glitz of Hollywood, rarely giving interviews or attending public events. Behind her carefully crafted mystique, Garbo's private life remained a subject of fascination. She was known for her close relationships with women, most notably playwright Mercedes de Acosta, with whom she corresponded for years. Letters exchanged between the two revealed deep affection, though Garbo's reluctance to define or publicize her relationships allowed rumors to persist without confirmation. Her refusal to conform to Hollywood's romantic expectations made her a figure of quiet defiance in an era of rigid social norms. Even after retiring from acting in the early 1940s, Garbo maintained her distance from the spotlight, living a solitary life in New York City. For generations of LGBTQ+ fans, Garbo's mystery and independence became a symbol of resilience. Her refusal to be categorized or controlled by the public remains a key part of her legacy as one of cinema's most enduring icons. James Dean became the embodiment of youthful rebellion and emotional intensity with his unforgettable roles in Rebel Without a Cause, East of Eden, and Giant. His brooding good looks, vulnerability, and untimely death at the age of 24 cemented his status as a cultural icon. Despite starring in only 3 major films, Dean's impact on Hollywood was immense, and his life has been mythologized ever since. Dean's private life was as complex and mysterious as his characters. His sexuality became a subject of endless speculation, with rumors suggesting he had relationships with both men and women. Some close to Dean claimed that he was bisexual, while others suggested he was simply uninterested in labels. His close friendships with older men in the entertainment industry, including director Rogers Brackett, further fueled rumors. Dean himself hinted at his fluidity when asked about his sexuality, famously stating, "I'm not going to go through life with one hand tied behind my back." Despite the speculation, Dean's legacy remains largely tied to his roles and the tragic brevity of his life. His enduring image as Hollywood's lost rebel continues to captivate fans, with discussions of his private life contributing to his enigmatic legend. Barbara Stanwyck's legacy as one of Hollywood's most versatile and commanding actresses is unparalleled. Known for her tough, no-nonsense characters in films like Double Indemnity, Stella Dallas, and Sorry, Wrong Number, Stanwyck exuded strength and independence on screen. Her performances earned her 4 Academy Award nominations, and she became one of the highest-paid actresses of her time. Off-screen, Stanwyck was fiercely private, adding to the intrigue surrounding her personal life. Despite 2 marriages, to actor Frank Fay and later to Robert Taylor, rumors swirled that she had close relationships with women, including actress Tallulah Bankhead. Biographers have noted that Stanwyck's guarded demeanor and refusal to discuss her private affairs made her a target of speculation. Her independent lifestyle and friendships with women were considered unconventional by Hollywood standards. Stanwyck never publicly addressed the rumors, maintaining that her private life was nobody's business. Her enigmatic nature only added to her allure, and she became a symbol of resilience for women navigating a male-dominated industry. To this day, her performances continue to resonate with audiences, and her refusal to conform to societal expectations has solidified her place as an enduring LGBTQ+ icon, admired for both her talent and mystery. Montgomery Clift was one of the most gifted and introspective actors of his generation, known for his brooding, sensitive performances in films like A Place in the Sun, From Here to Eternity, and The Misfits. He was often compared to Marlon Brando and James Dean, but stood apart with his quiet intensity and vulnerability on screen. Clift was one of the first actors to bring a raw emotional depth to his roles, redefining the Hollywood leading man with his authenticity. However, behind the scenes, Clift faced immense personal turmoil. He struggled with his sexuality in an era where being openly gay or bisexual could end a career. This internal conflict led to intense feelings of isolation and a dependence on alcohol and painkillers, especially after a devastating car accident in 1956 that left his face permanently scarred. Despite undergoing reconstructive surgery, Clift referred to his post-accident years as the longest suicide in Hollywood history. Clift's tragic story and on-screen brilliance continue to resonate with fans and historians. His roles often reflected his real-life struggles, making him a symbol of resilience and heartache. Today, Montgomery Clift is remembered not only as a cinematic icon, but as a poignant reminder of the emotional toll of repression and societal expectations. Marlene Dietrich was the epitome of Hollywood glamour, sophistication, and intrigue. Her smoky voice, sultry stare, and magnetic presence made her a global sensation. With unforgettable roles in films like The Blue Angel, Morocco, and Shanghai Express, Dietrich became one of the first female stars to embrace androgynous fashion, famously wearing men's suits and top hats with an effortless elegance that defied traditional gender norms. Behind her polished public image, Dietrich was remarkably open in her private life, maintaining romantic relationships with both men and women. Her affair with writer Mercedes de Acosta and rumored liaisons with actresses like Greta Garbo were part of her legend. Though the media at the time remained largely unaware of her relationships with women, those within Hollywood knew of her fluid sexuality. Dietrich never publicly labeled herself and instead let her bold fashion choices and unapologetic lifestyle speak for themselves. Marlene Dietrich's legacy as a trailblazer for LGBTQ+ representation remains strong. She challenged gender norms long before it was mainstream and became an icon for outsiders and free spirits. Her fearlessness, both on and off screen, has cemented her status as a timeless symbol of self-expression and unapologetic individuality. Ramon Novaro was a silent film heartthrob often compared to Rudolph Valentino, thanks to his exotic good looks and charm. He rose to fame with his iconic performance in Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ, 1925, solidifying his status as one of Hollywood's most beloved leading men. His smoldering screen presence made him a favorite among fans, and his success helped pave the way for Latino actors in Hollywood. However, Novaro's life behind the scenes was marked by secrecy and tragedy. As a devout Catholic, Novaro struggled with his homosexuality, which was considered a scandalous secret during his time. Though he had relationships with men, he was forced to hide his true self to protect his career and avoid public scrutiny. By the 1930s, as the silent film era ended, Novaro's career declined, and he lived a more secluded life. In 1968, Novaro's life ended in a brutal and tragic manner. He was murdered during a robbery at his home by two brothers who believed he had large sums of money hidden. His death shocked Hollywood and highlighted the dangers faced by LGBTQ+ individuals living in secrecy. Today, Novaro is remembered not only for his contributions to cinema, but as a poignant example of the tragic consequences of living in a prejudiced society. Sal Mineo captured audiences' hearts with his sensitive portrayal of Plato in Rebel Without a Cause, 1955, becoming one of the first openly vulnerable and emotionally complex characters in American cinema. His performance earned him an Academy Award nomination and cemented his place in Hollywood history as a rising star. Mineo became a symbol of youthful angst alongside James Dean, with whom he shared a deep, complex friendship. However, Mineo's off-screen life was far more complicated. He was openly gay within his close circle of friends, but remained discreet in public to avoid career repercussions. During the conservative 1950s and 60s, being openly gay could destroy an actor's reputation and opportunities. As he grew older, Mineo found it increasingly difficult to secure leading roles, as Hollywood typecast him as the troubled, boyish outsider. His sexuality, though unspoken in the media, also became an unspoken barrier to greater success. Despite these challenges, Mineo continued to work in theater and smaller film projects. Tragically, in 1976, he was murdered in a random robbery outside his apartment in West Hollywood. His death shocked the entertainment world. Today, Mineo is remembered not just as a talented actor, but as an LGBT+ trailblazer who dared to live authentically in an unforgiving industry. Anthony Perkins rose to fame as the shy, sensitive boy next door in films like Friendly Persuasion, before achieving international stardom for his unforgettable performance as Norman Bates in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, 1960. His chilling portrayal of the disturbed motel owner became a defining moment in cinematic history, earning him both acclaim and typecasting. Behind the scenes, Perkins' life was shaped by his struggle to reconcile his sexuality with his desire for Hollywood success. Perkins had relationships with both men and women, but he kept his personal life deeply private to avoid the harsh consequences of being outed during the mid-20th century. His insecurities and fear of exposure led him to therapy and a period of personal turmoil. In the 1970s, Perkins met and fell in love with photographer Barry Berenson, with whom he had 2 children. Many close to him described the relationship as a peaceful chapter in his life, though it did not erase his earlier struggles. Perkins' life was cut short in 1992 when he passed away from AIDS-related complications, one of the many beloved stars lost during the epidemic. His legacy remains tied to both his brilliant acting career and his quiet courage in navigating a repressive era for LGBTQ+ individuals. Anne Bannon is best known as the queen of lesbian pulp fiction, having penned the groundbreaking Beebo Brinker Chronicles, a series of novels that explored lesbian themes during the conservative 1950s and early 60s. Bannon's stories, which included titles like Odd Girl Out and I Am a Woman, depicted strong, unconventional female characters navigating love, identity, and societal judgment. Her work resonated deeply with LGBT+ readers who saw themselves reflected in fiction for the first time. While her novels gained a devoted cult following, Bannon was initially cautious about being publicly associated with LGBTQ+ themes, as mainstream society viewed such content as scandalous or immoral. She maintained a private life as a professor and writer, while her books quietly circulated among underground LGBTQ+ communities. Despite the stigma, her stories became lifelines for queer individuals seeking representation and validation. Today, Anne Bannon is celebrated as a pioneer of LGBTQ+ literature. Her books, once considered pulp fiction, are now studied as essential texts in queer studies. Her willingness to write about taboo subjects in an era of censorship helped pave the way for greater acceptance and visibility, solidifying her legacy as a literary and cultural trailblazer. Randolph Scott was a Hollywood Western icon known for his rugged charm and stoic presence in films like Ride the High Country and Colt 45. He was one of the quintessential cowboy stars of the 1940s and 50s, embodying the strong, silent type that audiences admired. His career spanned over 3 decades, during which he appeared in dozens of action-packed roles that solidified his legacy in the Western genre. However, Scott's personal life has long been the subject of speculation. His close friendship and years of cohabitation with fellow actor Cary Grant fueled persistent rumors about the nature of their relationship. Photos of the two living together in a shared beachside home, often referred to as Bachelor Hall, showed them relaxed and enjoying domestic life, leading many to believe they were more than friends. The media at the time played down the rumors, and both actors remained publicly silent on the matter. Scott eventually married Patricia Stillman and led a private life after retiring from acting in the 1960s. Though he never publicly addressed the speculation, his name remains inseparable from discussions about LGBTQ+ history in Hollywood. Today, Scott's enduring legacy as a Western star is complemented by the fascination surrounding his complex personal life. Liberace was one of the most flamboyant entertainers in American history, famous for his extravagant performances, dazzling costumes, and opulent lifestyle. Known as Mr. Showmanship, he captivated audiences with his virtuosic piano playing and theatrical flair, filling concert halls and earning millions of devoted fans. His showmanship extended beyond music. He was known for grand entrances, including arriving on stage in a rhinestone-encrusted Rolls-Royce. Despite his flamboyant persona and frequent jokes about his appearance, Liberace vehemently denied being gay throughout his life. He even filed and won a libel lawsuit against a British tabloid that implied he was homosexual. The lawsuit further fueled public fascination with his private life. Liberace's long-term relationships with men, including his chauffeur Scott Thorson, remained hidden from the public for years, despite whispers within Hollywood circles. Liberace passed away in 1987 due to AIDS-related complications, though his cause of death was initially shrouded in secrecy. Despite his public denials, Liberace has since become a beloved figure in LGBTQ+ history, remembered not only for his larger-than-life performances, but also for his complex journey of self-presentation. His legacy as a trailblazing entertainer remains timeless. Vincent Price's unmistakable voice and commanding presence made him a beloved figure in the world of horror cinema. With memorable roles in classics like House of Wax, The Pit and the Pendulum, and The Mask of the Red Death, Price's elegance and eerie charm set him apart from his contemporaries. Known for his versatility, he was equally at home playing tragic antiheroes and sinister villains. His wit and sophistication made him a sought-after guest on talk shows and a revered figure in both film and theater. Although Price was married 3 times and had children, rumors persisted about his bisexuality due to his close relationships with male friends and his support for LGBTQ+ causes. His daughter, Victoria Price, later confirmed that her father identified as bisexual, adding that he had lived a life true to his values of kindness and compassion, even in an era when such openness was nearly impossible. Vincent Price's legacy transcends horror films. He is remembered as an intellectual, art connoisseur, and humanitarian. His inclusion in queer history adds another layer to his already fascinating life story, reinforcing his reputation as a figure who defied labels and embraced authenticity, both on and off the screen. Tallulah Bankhead was a larger-than-life presence, known for her unforgettable performances in plays like The Little Foxes and films such as Lifeboat. With her husky voice, razor-sharp wit, and magnetic charisma, she became one of the most distinctive figures of her time. Offstage, Bankhead's wild antics, outrageous humor, and love for living extravagantly made her a regular in gossip columns. She was known for hosting lavish parties attended by the who's who of Hollywood and Broadway. In private, Bankhead was unapologetic about her romantic relationships with women, including her rumored affairs with Greta Garbo and Billie Holiday. However, she kept the public guessing, often making flirtatious and provocative remarks to maintain an air of mystery. She once famously quipped, "I'm as pure as the driven slush." Her refusal to conform to societal norms regarding gender and sexuality made her a defiant figure in an industry obsessed with propriety. Bankhead's unapologetic confidence, biting humor, and ability to command any room she entered solidified her status as a queer icon. Despite her struggles with substance abuse and a decline in her later years, her legacy endures as a trailblazer for self-expression and defiance in the face of societal expectations. Paul Lynde was one of television's most beloved comedians, best known for his role as the snarky Uncle Arthur on Bewitched and as the center square on Hollywood Squares. His quick wit, impeccable comedic timing, and biting one-liners made him a household name. His humor often played with ambiguity, and his flamboyant mannerisms made him a standout in every role he took on. Despite his fame, Lynde's sexuality was an open secret in Hollywood. He never publicly came out, but his persona was unmistakably camp, and he became a cultural touchstone for queer humor. His personal life, however, was marked by struggles. Lynde often battled loneliness and substance abuse, which affected his career and relationships. Hollywood's rigid norms at the time made it difficult for him to live openly, though his fans embraced him for who he was. Lynde's legacy as a trailblazer for LGBTQ+ performers in comedy remains strong. His influence can be seen in the work of later comedians who brought queer humor into the mainstream. Despite the challenges he faced, Lynde's genius for comedy continues to be celebrated, and his impact on television history is undeniable. Noel Coward was a playwright, composer, actor, and all-around showman whose wit and charm made him a beloved figure in the world of theater and film. Known for plays like Private Lives and Blithe Spirit, and for his signature songs like Mad About the Boy, Coward was revered for his sophisticated humor and clever dialogue. His debonair appearance and dry wit made him a fixture in elite social circles on both sides of the Atlantic. Although Coward never officially came out as gay, he lived openly among his friends and was known for his flamboyant lifestyle and long-term partnerships. His charm and reputation for discretion allowed him to navigate a world that was often hostile to LGBTQ+ individuals. Coward's close friendships with celebrities like Marlene Dietrich and his collaborations with Laurence Olivier further solidified his place in Hollywood and theater royalty. Noel Coward's legacy endures as a master of wit and elegance. His contributions to theater and music remain timeless, and his life story is a testament to the power of authenticity and resilience. Today, he is celebrated not only for his immense talent, but also for his quiet defiance of societal expectations in an era when being different could cost everything. Agnes Moorehead became a household name for her unforgettable portrayal of the flamboyant and witty Endora in the hit TV series Bewitched. Her theatrical gestures, sharp comebacks, and vibrant presence turned her character into one of the show's most beloved figures. However, Moorehead's career extended far beyond television. She was an accomplished actress with an impressive body of work in radio, film, and theater, earning 4 Academy Award nominations for her performances in films like The Magnificent Ambersons. Despite her fame, Moorehead's private life was shrouded in mystery. Her close friendships with women and her refusal to conform to Hollywood's expectations of marriage and public romance led to speculation about her sexuality. Though she was married twice, both marriages ended without children, fueling rumors about her personal life. Moorehead never addressed these rumors, choosing instead to focus on her work and religious devotion. Her commitment to her craft made her a standout in the industry, and her enigmatic personal life only added to her allure. To this day, Agnes Moorehead's legacy endures as an icon of wit and charm, beloved for her larger-than-life performances, and celebrated for the barriers she broke as a talented, independent woman in Hollywood. Eva Le Gallienne was one of the most respected figures in American theater, known for her pioneering work as an actress, director, and producer. She was an influential force in the Little Theater movement of the early 20th century and founded the Civic Repertory Theater in New York, where she produced and starred in adaptations of classic works. Le Gallienne's dedication to making theater more accessible and her formidable stage presence earned her widespread acclaim. In her personal life, Le Gallienne was open about her sexuality among close friends in confidence, though she was careful to maintain discretion in public due to the societal taboos of her time. She had romantic relationships with notable women, including writer Mercedes de Acosta and actress Alana Azimova, though her public image remained focused on her professional achievements. Le Gallienne's refusal to conform to traditional expectations of women, both in her career and personal life, made her a trailblazer. Today, she is celebrated as a pioneering LGBTQ+ figure who brought depth, intelligence, and passion to her craft. Her impact on theater remains profound, and her courage to live authentically continues to inspire generations of artists and activists. Clifton Webb was known for his sophisticated, sharp-witted performances in films like Laura and The Razor's Edge. With his impeccable diction, elegant demeanor, and sardonic charm, Webb redefined a leading man archetype by portraying intellectual, often aristocratic characters who were as cutting as they were captivating. His role as the acerbic Waldo Lydecker in Laura remains one of the most memorable performances in classic film noir. Webb's private life was just as distinctive as his on-screen persona. He never married and was famously devoted to his mother, with whom he lived until her death. His close relationships with male companions and his lifelong bachelorhood led to persistent speculation about his sexuality. While Webb never publicly addressed these rumors, his refusal to conform to traditional norms made him stand out in Hollywood. He lived authentically in his own way, surrounded by friends and admirers who appreciated his wit and charm. Webb's ability to portray complex, refined characters helped challenge Hollywood's depiction of masculinity, and his legacy as an actor remains significant. His nuanced performances and elegant presence left an indelible mark on cinema, making him a beloved figure among film enthusiasts and a notable figure in LGBTQ+ history. Richard Chamberlain became a household name as the dashing Dr. Kildare in the popular 1960s TV series of the same name. With his charming smile and leading man looks, Chamberlain was dubbed the King of Miniseries thanks to his roles in The Thornbirds and Shogun. However, behind his heartthrob status, Chamberlain lived with a constant fear that being openly gay would end his career. For decades, Chamberlain remained closeted, navigating Hollywood's unspoken rule that romantic leading men had to project heterosexuality to sustain their star power. In 2003, at the age of 69, he publicly came out in his memoir Shattered Love, sharing his truth after years of secrecy. His courage to live openly later in life resonated with fans and fellow actors, inspiring a broader conversation about sexuality and representation in the entertainment industry. Despite the challenges, Chamberlain's career endured, and his bravery paved the way for younger actors to live authentically. Today, he is remembered not only for his iconic roles, but also for his honesty and resilience in an industry that often demanded conformity. His legacy continues to inspire conversations about identity and self-acceptance. George Cukor was one of the most celebrated directors of Hollywood's golden age, helming classics such as My Fair Lady, A Star is Born, and The Philadelphia Story. Renowned for his ability to direct complex female characters, Cukor earned a reputation as the women's director, collaborating with stars like Katharine Hepburn, Judy Garland, and Audrey Hepburn. His films were celebrated for their wit, charm, and emotional depth. Behind the camera, Cukor was also known for his private gatherings that served as safe havens for Hollywood's LGBTQ+ community. At a time when homosexuality could lead to blacklisting or worse, Cukor hosted lavish parties where queer actors, writers, and creatives could socialize without fear of exposure. Despite being out to those within his circle, Cukor maintained a public image that avoided scrutiny, focusing instead on his remarkable body of work. Cukor's influence on film remains undeniable, and his legacy as a champion of inclusion continues to resonate. His films have become timeless classics, and his behind-the-scenes role as a protector of marginalized artists has cemented his place as a trailblazing figure in both Hollywood and LGBTQ+ history. Cole Porter was one of the most prolific and celebrated composers of the 20th century, known for crafting sophisticated, witty songs that captured the glamour and complexities of life. Hits like Anything Goes, I've Got You Under My Skin, and Night and Day became staples of American music, showcasing Porter's genius for melody and wordplay. His work elevated Broadway and Hollywood musicals to new heights of sophistication. Though Porter was married to socialite Lynde Lee Thomas, their marriage was more of a supportive companionship than a conventional romance. Privately, Porter had relationships with men, though he was discreet to avoid scandal. His sexuality, while understood by his close circle, was never discussed publicly due to the era's harsh stigma against LGBTQ+ individuals. Despite the secrecy, Porter lived life unapologetically, surrounding himself with art, music, and luxury. A riding accident in 1937 left Porter with chronic pain, but he continued composing iconic songs that defined an era. His life and music are now celebrated as part of LGBTQ+ cultural history. Cole Porter's legacy endures through his timeless compositions, which continue to captivate audiences and inspire artists around the world. James Whale revolutionized the horror genre with his iconic direction of Frankenstein, 1931, and its sequel, The Bride of Frankenstein, 1935. Both of which are considered masterpieces of early cinema. His ability to infuse Gothic horror with dark humor and emotional nuance set his work apart, and he is credited with establishing the visual language of modern horror films. Whale's elegant direction, coupled with his ability to humanize his monstrous characters, made his films timeless classics. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Whale was openly gay in both his personal and professional life, a remarkable stance in 1930s Hollywood, where LGBTQ+ identities were often hidden or destroyed by scandal. Whale's openness and success made him a rarity in the industry, though his later years were marked by disillusionment as he moved away from filmmaking. Whale's life was tragically cut short when he died by suicide in 1957. But his contributions to cinema and his courage to live authentically remain enduring parts of his legacy. The 1998 film Gods and Monsters brought renewed attention to Whale's life, portraying the complexities of his genius and his struggles. Today, Whale is celebrated as both a pioneer of horror cinema and a trailblazer for LGBTQ+ visibility in Hollywood. The stars of old Hollywood dazzled audiences with their talent, beauty, and unforgettable performances. But many lived complex lives behind the scenes, forced to hide their true identities due to the harsh societal norms of the time. From Rock Hudson's tragic battle with secrecy and illness to Greta Garbo's elusive mystique, these stars navigated fame while grappling with personal sacrifices. Despite their immense contributions to cinema and culture, their private struggles remained hidden for decades. Thankfully, Hollywood has made significant strides in LGBT+ representation. Today, more actors and creatives are able to live openly without the fear of losing their careers. The bravery of stars like Richard Chamberlain and Tab Hunter, who eventually shared their truths, paved the way for modern artists to live authentically. Meanwhile, icons like Marlene Dietrich and James Whale, who defied convention in their time, remain symbols of resilience and self-expression. By revisiting these stories, we honor their legacy and acknowledge the progress made toward greater acceptance and visibility. Which of these untold stories resonated with you the most? Do you believe Hollywood's portrayal of LGBTQ+ identities has evolved enough, or is there still room for growth? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.